Hello. Last week our readings focused on the topic of waiting. And I think we can all respond that there's waiting and there's waiting, right? Do you know what I mean? Some waiting is, just waiting. You know, the pointless exercise we all have to go through from time to time. Like sitting in the pickup line waiting for that bell to ring and that car in front of you to start moving. But other waiting seems to matter. Like waiting in the doctor's office for the results of the biopsy to come back, or waiting to see the ultrasound of your new baby. You know what I mean. Some waiting feels empty and pointless, while other waiting is heavy and significant and really matters. Well, too often I think the kind of waiting we talk about in Advent feels like that former kind of waiting. You know, waiting to sing Christmas carols and waiting to decorate the church and waiting for Christmas generally, as if we'll spoil it if we don't wait just right. But I don't think that's really the kind of waiting that Advent invites us to. I mean, think about what Advent is about after all. Advent is all about promises. And not just Advent, of course, but the whole gospel. And the thing about promises is that they're not static. Not ever. Rather, promises, if you hear and believe them, create an expectation about the future. And they set something in motion. I remember when I would promise the kids that we'd play, Chutes and Ladders after supper or the next day, they'd get the game set up right there and then. Or when you promise to call somebody the next day, that person typically anticipates the call. And when a friend promises you a ride home after the game, you don't make other arrangements. I mean, why should you, right? You've got a promise. See what I mean? Promises create an expectation about the future. And that future expectation sets something in motion right here and now in the present. And that's important. I mean, we can only really wait if what we're waiting for has already begun for us. So waiting's never a movement from nothing to something. It's always a movement from something to something more. The same is even more true about God's promises. And that maybe is the key message of Advent. That in the stable at Bethlehem, God not only is keeping promises God made to Israel, but also making promises to us. That in Jesus, God hears our cries of fear and concern and doubt at our lowest points and responds. To our cries for deliverance, God responds with promises of healing, peace, and justice. In and through the life, ministry, death, and resurrection of Jesus. Now, I know we've heard that kind of promise before, and sometimes it may feel like more pie in the sky. But think about this. What if God's promises are not all eschatological or end-to-time promises, something we wait patiently for until the end of time? Or another way of saying that is, what if we're invited to participate here and now in the end-time promises of God by contributing to their fulfillment here in the present? What if, that is, part of how God keeps God's promises is through our efforts to heal and comfort and help and bring justice? What if we're all invited to continue the story of the good news of Jesus as God continues to write the gospel of Jesus in and through our lives as individuals and communities? So maybe the question is, what kind of waiting do we want to do? Sure, we can sit around and wait for Christmas or Christ's return for that matter. Or we can get in the game and see how we can spend our time, energy, wealth, and lives making a difference right now as we wait. Because it's not just John who's called to cry out and prepare the way. It's all of us, right here, right now, waiting actively by making a difference in the lives of the people God has put all around us. God is continuing the story of the good news of Jesus in and through our words and actions. And each of us, even now, has opportunities this very week to contribute to that sacred story, to make it come alive, to help God keep God's promises here and now. William Sloane Coffin told his congregation at Riverside Church in Manhattan, I don't want Riverside to be an institution for those interested in things religious. I want it to irrigate the community with hope. What a great image for the church. Irrigating the community with hope. Waiting for the kingdom by working for the values of the kingdom. Joining in the work Jesus Christ is already doing in the world. Working for his kingdom of justice and peace and kindness and generosity with a fierce hope that never dies. So, no, what we do will not bring ultimate healing or comfort or peace or justice. That's God's job, and God will keep God's promises to the fullest in the fullness of time. But we don't have to wait for that passively, but are invited to throw ourselves into that venture, both trusting God's promises and living them right here, right now. See you soon.